So welcome to the weekly update. I hope our message finds you well, whether you're watching live or catching up with us later on Facebook or YouTube. Today we're talking all things tourism, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, and with all that we've learned about the importance of a staycation, there's no better person to talk about the wonderful attractions of our community, that is Decatur and Morgan County, than the Decatur Morgan County Tourism President and CEO Danielle Gibson. And Danielle, it's nice to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me here today. Excited to talk about tourism. So.
I've been in some of your meetings and with the board and such, and y'all do get excited, and we get excited about that.
We do. I have a fantastic board of directors, so I'm very thankful for them. So very supportive and navigating through these times, so they're great.
Good.
Yes.
Well, so before we begin getting into the kind of explain what the organization does.
Sure. So we're a nonprofit organization, and we were created to really promote Decatur and Morgan County to individuals and groups alike. So we serve as an economic driver, a community marketer, economic development. So we kind of have our hand in a little bit of everything. So that's kind of in just what we do. We have 6 people at our office and like I said, a fantastic board of directors to support us in our endeavors.
So you became director in 2018?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and of course a lot has happened in those few short years.
Just a few things.
Well, I mean, you go back whenever you first came in, look at all that we were seeing as far as growth in our areas. So
right.
Y'all were seeing some record numbers, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and boy, the economy was really rolling, and it is, it still is, but
right.
A lot of your funding comes from lodging taxes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And so whenever people stopped traveling and such, then that did have an impact.
Absolutely.
And so you had to pivot and make some adjustments. Kind of explain what's happened there.
So whenever things first started, we had to kind of get creative with what we were doing, what we were marketing. So when it first started, our organization has been blessed with wonderful directors, and so I got to follow in those footsteps of a very strong organization. And so, we were going strong, record numbers, and so we had to pivot when everything kind of shut down. And so we, as a team, sat together and said, okay, well, what do we do now? So what we thought we would do is bring the community to people through Facebook Live. So we did a MoCo Cares virtual event series.
And what is MoCo?
Morgan County.
All right.
Yes, so you'll probably see a lot of that coming out. So a lot of our stuff is going to be MoCo. So we had to pivot from that. We asked people within our community who were gardeners, line dancing, just keeping it very lighthearted, and what can you do at home when you're with your families. And so that was kind of the beginning of our new marketing campaigns, and then we were able to continue to grow and adjust as needed. So now we're going to be launching the new hashtag, This is MoCo Morgan County, and we have already started that. So we've got 3 out now. We actually launched one today. And so what we're trying to do there is connect people within our community, who own businesses, who love the outdoor adventures, who explore our area, and really get people out and about and love their community, because we have so many great aspects here in Decatur.
We do, and y'all make sure that you promote those.
Yes, we
And
do.
so you talk about using social media, again, attending a lot of your board meetings, or I've attended some of your board meetings. There's a time whenever you present analytics.
Yes.
And how the different hits that you get, certain, and y'all really get a lot of attention.
Yes.
You get a lot of hits.
Yes.
Is there one that's probably more effective of all the social media drivers now that you get the most on?
Yeah, so as a marketer, it's really amazing the technology that's available to us. So when we kind of started moving everything to the digital platforms, we really started to see our social really skyrocket, and that's through Instagram and through Facebook. And a lot of that was because we use an ambassador program. So last year in November, we started the Visit Decatur AL ambassador program, and that was people who were posting pictures about our community and really storytelling. And so we created this program to bring them in and ask them if, hey, would you mind doing a story about, we would pick different things that were going on in the community, or hey, would you go out by the river and take some photos? And they are all extremely talented and from different aspects of life. Some of them are photographers, some are outdoor enthusiasts. We have a woman fisherwoman, and so we have really relied on them heavily to safely get out and take photos of our different things that people can enjoy. So that's been a big part of it because they provide us content and we're able to repost that on our Facebook or Instagram. And so we also, with the This Is MoCo, is going to be on our YouTube, which I know that you guys use YouTube. So we're going to be kind of stepping into that market too. And Pinterest, we use that to create new ideas of, we're going to be coming out with a new Valentine's Day Pinterest board. So doing some kind of fun, creative things, which our website launched last April, and that was new. So it all kind of launched at the same time.
Okay.
Which ended up being great.
Good.
So.
Now, Big Communications did your website. It looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, it ended up being really good, and we're working with him now on, we have an interactive map, which we worked with DDR, and he was on here a couple of weeks ago, and so that's kind of a more honed in level of the downtown area, which is extremely well done, and ours is more of a high overview of our different areas. But what I'm excited about is we noticed with our trail system, we needed something that was more, people could use it very easily, and so that's in the works now as we're adding the new kind of trails onto our map. So we're excited to see that.
Good. I'm gonna come back to trails in just a moment. You mentioned,
I got a few of those.
you mentioned Fisherwoman.
Yes.
Now we hosted King Cat last year.
Mm-hmm. We did.
And you did some fishing, right?
Yes, I think it was the year before last, but it was. I had a little fish. I call it a huge fish, but
that's so. How large was the fish?
I think it was probably like 20 pounds or so. I'm not a fisherman like the cat fishermen who are 90 pounds and more.
You probably weigh 80 pounds. That was.
I was very proud. I'll say that. So
that's a lot of fun. They
yes.
come in to have fun and they try to do their best to market their particular division, or King Cat, if you will.
Yeah.
And so they do a great job there.
Yes.
So Decatur Morgan Tourism has placed an emphasis on the natural wonders of our community, and tell us ways that your team has promoted this.
Sure. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about my team during this time. They have been extremely flexible, extremely creative, and we've really, had to do things a lot differently. So I'm extremely proud of them.
Why don't you name them?
Sure.
Share a little bit about your team. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got Marianne Floyd, who is our communications director. I've got Marley Schmidt, who is our hotel relations and group sales director. I've got Don Dukemanier, who, bless his heart, came in March of last year, and so we don't say that he brought the pandemic with him, but he's our director of sports development. And I've got Sharon Holder, who is our vice president of operations, and Dolores Powell, who is our housing coordinator. So. And I've asked them to do a lot of things that they typically wouldn't do, so they have been definitely team players. So, but for Natural Wonders, we have amazing things here that are outdoor activities. And so we saw lots of people getting out and about. We have Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge, which right now, they still were able to have a one-day event for the Festival of the Cranes. People come from all over the world to see those cranes, and we have that right here in our backyard. And then we have the beautiful Tennessee River, and you can go to Rhodes Ferry Park, and you can see a train, or you can look at the water, and then, Point Mallard Park. There's just so many natural resources here. And so part of the One Decatur plan, mentions the trails and keeping things clean and getting people out and about. And so we actually partnered with Leave No Trace, because so many people are on the trails, to make sure that they understand, please keep our environment clean and tidy, and so we just want to make sure to protect those natural resources and keep them beautiful. So
Sherry and I enjoyed a trip out to the refuge Saturday, and it was so nice. It was a little chilly, so if you go out there,
wear your jacket.
That's right, dress accordingly. But
that's right.
It was really nice, and to see the cranes and such, and golly, thousands.
It's hard to explain if you're not out there and you don't see it, but if you go out there, it's just like the most incredible scene. So we were able to bring Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge along with our friends at the Cook Museum of Natural Science, and said, okay, can we partner with you guys together and kind of collaborate on a scavenger hunt that you could do, partly at the Cook Museum and then partly at Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge, and they didn't. So we have that listed on our website that, you know, it's a fun activity that families can do and, you know, get out and explore. So
You know, the ecosystem that we have is really what kind of drove, Cook could have landed
yeah,
their museum anywhere,
Yeah.
but they decided to bring it here
that's
because of the ecosystem, and we're very thankful for that.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of trails, Morgan County definitely has unique ones,
Yes.
including the Moco, which Morgan County, Burger Trail, the Moco Sweet Trail.
Yes.
Then we had the Turtle Trail.
Yes.
Then we had the Veterans Park Trail, and then the
the
Amen
list
Trail.
goes on.
Yeah, the list goes on.
Yes.
So kind of share a little bit about those if you
Sure.
can.
So we've had a lot of people that have brought ideas to us, and they've all really been incredible. So, you know, Lucy Orr brought the Decatur Downtown Turtle Trail, which has been phenomenal, and people have used it like crazy. And so we thought, well, we'll just expand on some of these fun things, and really, you know, the thought behind it is to help our local businesses too and get people out in their communities and think about supporting local. And so we came up with actually Susie Wiley came up with this idea, the Burger Trail. And so we loved that idea, so we picked it up and ran with it. And so we have it divided if you want local eats or if you also want more of a franchise eats, we have that available. The new Amen Trail, actually it's not new, we're just kind of bringing it back. So it's been updated by our historians, and we also updated the picture, so we'll be rolling that out within the next couple of weeks. The Veterans Park Trail was actually brought to us by Mayor Sam Heflin, and we thought, well, that's a cool idea. And so we started pulling all the resources together with Judge Breland, and I mean, all of them. We have the greatest historians ever. But anyway, so we're working on that trail now. And so lots of things to do,
It's
So,
amazing. Phil Wiry came and spoke to our Rotary Club. You may have been there the
yes,
day that he,
yes,
and some of the things that he shared, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And then to know that I think Memorial Day, really Decatur was the catalyst behind,
yeah,
leaders from here, the catalyst behind the start of Memorial Day.
yeah,
So I just pulled up something, just kind of going off script here a little bit, which is always fun. But
I think I'm ready.
I know you are.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, so one of the things that y'all do best is we have these soccer events that come into town, archery,
Yeah.
lacrosse, all these different events that come into town, including the SWAC Championship, the Southwestern Atlantic Conference Championship, when Mike Hall serves as the commissioner there.
Yeah.
And y'all roll out the red carpet.
Yeah.
Y'all extend hospitality, and they talk about, you know, we go a lot of places, but we don't go anywhere like Decatur. And so from wonderful food to special treats as far as bags, table settings, things of that nature. And then you partner with our teammates at Decatur Parks and Recreation.
Oh yeah, we couldn't make it without them.
Yeah.
Or
So-
you, Mayor, and all your support.
No,
So
well, it's a team, you're kind of, but really kind of talk about
sure.
how that works.
Sure.
And even the recruiting process.
Sure. So we go to conferences where, for instance, Don Dukeminer might go and meet with a bunch of different organizers and say, hey, you know, these are the things that we have available in Decatur. It's a little more complex than that, obviously, but honestly, it's about the relationship building. And what's so unique about Decatur is that we do work all together as a team, and you know, a lot of people don't get that a lot of places. And so we go the extra mile, we do the extra things, such as you said, the goodie bags, and then Decatur Parks and Rec is just phenomenal at just making sure they have everything that they need, or if they don't, they make sure to find it. And so, and then of course, when you come and do your welcome and things like that, that just adds an extra layer of, wow, they really care about us being here. And so with that and our conferences, we were able to actually host some conferences this last year in partnership with the Decatur Chamber of Commerce, and we've worked with Rick Paler on the Main Street Conference. So we're getting a pretty big list of conferences, so, but we couldn't do all of that without your support and Decatur Parks and Rec.
So let's go back pre-COVID.
Sure.
So that would have been 2019.
Yeah.
Let
Let me try to remember. Okay.
Can you think of, not to put you on the spot, maybe the
Sure.
biggest event that we hosted that would have brought the most teams?
So most of our ones that we've had established a long time, which is our open cups with Scott Spencer, those have been here a long time, and so those bring in a lot of room nights. We also had, and I believe it was this year, the Alabama State games that brought in a lot of room nights.
So that was shared with Huntsville, wasn't it?
Mhm.
We hosted the soccer.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so, in our hotels also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the hotels. They have a wonderful experience here. Our hotels go over the top to make sure they have a great experience. So, and I think it speaks a lot that people continue to come back here year after year too. So I just appreciate the city and all that they do to make sure that, we keep bringing these people
Well,
back.
it's a team effort. So it ends up impacting our economy in a tremendous way,
Yes.
where it impacts our hotels,
Yes.
our restaurants,
Yes.
our retailers,
Mm-hmm.
you name it,
Yep.
fuel, all those things. And I enjoy going and seeing some of these events and
Yeah.
just riding through the parking lot and seeing the license plates and
Yes.
all
That's
the
the fun
different,
part.
yeah, all the different states that participate.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to see that. But it doesn't just happen by osmosis. It takes an effort to
No.
attract those folks to Decatur
Yeah.
and then the hospitality.
Yeah.
And so, job well done.
Well, thank you.
So your team y'all do an excellent job promoting Decatur. What's the message that you want to share as it relates to the future?
So this year we have a big lineup of events, hopefully, that we're going to be able to have. And so our community really is also a big part of all this. Everybody's so friendly and welcoming. And I mean, people visit things that you would not think about. They might buy a truck here, the fishermen, or they might, they buy all kinds of stuff while they're here. But the community, I would really encourage you to just embrace your community. It's such a beautiful place to live, and there's so many wonderful people. And a lot of our marketing did shift from, outside visitors, bringing them in, and then kind of focusing on our local people. We'll get out in your community and see what's available. And so I just want y'all to just do all of the things that we have available. We have all kinds of tours, walking tours that are safe, socially distant. A lot of our historians have put those together, so they're extremely well done. We have an Old Town walking brochure, which is kind of our newer one. And so I would just, just get out and enjoy.
It's nice.
And be safe, of course.
Distance.
Distance,
Yeah, wear
yes.
your mask. So what's your favorite attraction of the year?
Well, they're all my favorites. I love them all equally because we have so diversified. I mean, we have the arts, we have the natural sciences, we have just so many different things to offer. I would hate to just pick one because they all mean so much to our community. So, and the Decatur Morgan County Hospitality Association, they meet once a month, and that gives everybody an opportunity to come together and talk about what's going on in the hotel or what do you have going on. The Princess Theater has been very gracious in giving tickets and things like that. So I think that's also a huge part of our community is just the partnerships and the working as a team. And especially during this time, we've really seen everybody come together and lean on each other probably more than ever. So
You bring up something that the Hospitality Association and we host our soccer complex is just state of the art. It's
Yeah.
one of the finest facilities in the South. We're very fortunate.
Yep.
And with that, we've had the pleasure of hosting international events.
Mhm.
And so folks that will come into our area
Yeah.
that don't speak English, don't
Mhm.
speak our language.
Yeah.
And so with that, you do your best to get with our restaurants and our hospitality community
Yes.
so that they know that we have international guests coming in
Mhm.
and how to extend that special Decatur hospitality to them. And
Yes.
so all that takes a lot of planning, a lot of work. Job
Yes.
well done.
And I really haven't talked a lot about this, but we have a way to reach out to travel writers and travel bloggers and kind of like tell them about stories about Decatur. And I mean, we've gotten so much positive feedback, and I didn't really mention the Mural Trail that we also put together. And so now that's interactive. So we have little business cards with a QR code. So you just do the QR code, and then it gives you, exactly where they are on Google locations. And so we've had such positive feedback from those travel writers, and we actually have a couple coming in March that we're very excited about that will help tell our story. And then we also talked to our representative from Germany. She's actually in Germany, but she talks to tour operators on our behalf. And so, we're still working the international market, still working, outside of our organization. It just looks a little different than lots of Zoom calls and lots of things like that we've not done before. But, tourism is still alive and we're still thriving, and we're excited for a big year. So,
we can never over communicate
yeah.
things. You mentioned something that is new to our area, the Mural Trail.
Yes.
Can you kind of elaborate on that just a little bit?
Sure. So, I hate to mention just one of them because there's
Sure.
so many wonderful ones. But I really love that. Actually, we have a conference that's coming in that we talk to them about it, and because people love to see Instagram stories or Facebook, and so really there's a wide diversity of different types of murals. So if you like horses, or you like butterflies, or you like people, or you like flowers, I mean, we really just have, or you like fish, it doesn't matter. We have them all available. So I just encourage everybody to get out, and everything's right here.
So they're downtown.
Mm-hmm.
On some of the sides of our
Yes.
buildings. There's some very nice murals.
Yes. Yes.
And are we to 3 or more?
Well, we've got a lot actually.
Okay.
I think we're up to 12 to 13 on our
Get
trail.
out. Oh no, I just embarrassed myself.
No, it's okay. No, more exciting. How about
Okay,
that?
Very
So,
good. I
yes.
need to get out to a scavenger hunt on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I can hook you up with the pass, so there you go.
All right, very good.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
having
your
me.
leadership, and
Absolutely.
which mean we truly appreciate that. Now, remember that you can sign up for our newsletter by texting Decatur to 42828. Our next edition will come out February the 5th, and our next municipal update will be Friday, January the 29th at 3 p.m. Now, we will meet as we do a COVID update Monday at 10 o'clock, and we look forward to seeing you then. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Thank you. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Councilman.